Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris and today we're talking about a classic fragrance from the house of Dior. So here we have Miss Dior Le Parfum. So this is a classic fragrance. It is no longer in production, at least not available here in the United States. This is a very sad thing because I actually really like this fragrance. It's been gone, but it's never forgotten. So the fragrance we have here today is Miss Dior Le Parfum. Just so we can look at the actual bottle, it is your classic Dior fragrance with the Miss Dior bottle. This is a metal plaque. Mine has kind of scratched a little bit or the coloring has kind of come off there. And then you have your dagger bow up here. These used to be made out of metal, very expensive, very premium, very solid. The lid is your classic Dior lid with the Miss Dior bottles, which is kind of like a plexiglass type material. And then on the side, you used to get the Houndstooth logo, and then at the top, you got your staircase type of design. Very beautiful, very premium, very elegant. This fragrance was launched in 2012. And actually, if you smell this fragrance or you ever get the opportunity to smell this fragrance or try it, you're going to be like, this smells like a 90s fragrance or an early, maybe 2000s fragrance. It is very spicy, very sexy, very passionate and freeing. And it's actually a little bit weird because this fragrance does not actually list any spices in the actual notes. This fragrance is mainly based on patchouli, which is what all of the Miss Dior classic fragrances used to be based on. Now, not so much. Now you get the cotton candy sweet crap that they're releasing, and it does sell very well. The bottles are nice. I do want to get a new one and do some comparisons with the fragrances, but I am not a fan of the new Miss Dior formulations. And let me tell you, they've done quite a bit of formulations for Miss Dior. But this fragrance was released under the perfumer of Francois Dimachy. The top notes for this fragrance are mandarin orange as well as citric notes. And then your middle notes are going to be Turkish rose and Damascus rose. And in the base, we're going to get amber, patchouli, and vanilla. So very, very nice, very classic. It's kind of, coming off as boring whenever you read the description, but as we have learned, we are not to judge a book by its cover. This fragrance is intensely spicy. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you, there's another fragrance in my collection that smells just like this and is a lot more expensive, which is Givenchy's Inflamme. It kind of gives that vibe. It kind of gives that same type of smell. Givenchy's Inflamme is a lot more expensive. It is 280 US dollars because it is part of the La Collection Particulière. But this fragrance is a gem. Let me just tell you, if you like anything spicy, so if you like fragrances like Coco, the Eau de Parfum, if you like Beautiful by Estee Lauder, or if you like spicy, sexy, dramatic fragrances, then you're gonna love this fragrance. It is absolutely a gem. I'm not sure why they discontinued it. Well, I am sure because it wasn't selling very well. Obviously, it is not in the target demographic anymore. Fragrance brands are now catering towards obviously Gen Z and millennials. And unfortunately, us as Gen Zs and millennials, because I'm right in the middle, tend to like a lot lighter, sweeter, cotton candy type fragrances. And for me, at least, I don't really care for them. I think with being a fragrance lover, I have learned to love more intense, spicy, woody notes in all of the fragrances. And this one is a true definition of that. Something that you would traditionally consider and classify as a grandma fragrance is very sexy. This is a very nice fall winter scent. And that's the reason I'm making this video because it is a hidden gem. It is something that you can definitely get and rock in the fall and the winter. Very good fragrance. There are some reseller websites that I've seen sell this fragrance. It's kind of, becoming something that you cannot find anymore. In fact, this fragrance was actually discontinued prior to me starting to work for Dior. Its lifespan was not very long. It did not live a long, luscious life. It got discontinued pretty quickly. Obviously launched in 2012. I started working for Dior in 2015. So it didn't last very long, like I said, and it was very sad. I actually got to get this bottle because my boss had a whole closet full of them. And back then I really did not have an appreciation for it. I thought it was an old lady fragrance. And as time has progressed, I kind of like the intensity of this fragrance, the spiciness of this fragrance. It's a very beautiful, warm patchouli wrapped in sexy vanilla with beautiful amber notes at base. you're gonna get that citric actual element because it's gonna have that sharp contrast to the actual fragrance itself. And it has beautiful Turkish and Damascus rose in the heart, which is very nice, very well done. And you're also gonna get mandarin orange. That's kind of the note that kind of gets lost on me. I also think that there's spices in this fragrance, obviously. It's not listed, but it is a very sexy, sophisticated, elegant, and refined fragrance. It is something you would probably wear to a more sophisticated dinner or event. It's not a fragrance that you're going to be wearing to the office because it's not going to get you a lot of compliments, at least not from younger generations. The nice thing about this fragrance is that it does tend to get a little bit softer and you kind of get that spicy element that kind of fizzles away and kind of goes away when you are wearing it, and you kind of get that beautiful, like I said, patchouli and Damascus rose come out. It's not going to be very heavy on the actual rose part. It's going to be a little bit more heavy and leaning on the patchouli, but it's a very beautiful fragrance. And I certainly recommend that if you can get your hands on this fragrance, you certainly should. Obviously, be a little bit more careful because with it being a fragrance that's over 10 years old now, you might get a formula that has been either exposed to heat or to cool weather or to the sun, and it might have changed the actual smell of the fragrance itself. But let me know down in the comments if you've tried this fragrance. What Miss Dior fragrances do you like best? Let me know all of that down below in the comments. Also, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more fragrance related content. And I hope to see you on the next video.